So there's a problem of excessive aspiration, I think, but also just like a problem of how do you even break down such a huge problem.
Although
Right?
to
So
one,
in Elizabeth's case, like that's I like that as an example of like breaking down that problem into like the simplest possible version where it's like so narrowly constrained that at least at least it can be engaged with.
the door is locked.
So somebody wrote how many people in total worked on System Shock 1. So would this be a good time, Mark, to play the credits?
Sure. Let me save. Would it be a good time to play the credits?
I don't know.
Let me see.
We could
Someone asked.
link to Moby Games. I mean, that would probably do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We will play the credits eventually. Let me just actually see if there's a good way to get to the credits from here. This is the only issue. Options. Return. Quit. I think if I quit, I'm going to end up at a DOS prompt. So let's do the credits when we know we're wrapping up.
All right.
And then, oh, stupid mutant. Yeah, so we can talk about it. Like the engineering team was about half a dozen guys, and then we had, I think the design team was about 5 guys, and the art team was about 5 guys with one overlap there, one artist who is also a designer.
Yep.
In total. And I would mention that our half dozen engineers included 2 interns.
Yeah.
Actually, we have two. Rob Waters got a design credit as well.
Oh, okay.
But they spelled his name wrong on Moby Games.
Oh, it's not Rob with a B, with an extra B.
Yeah, it's only one B.
Oh, and here's Edward Diego. We're gonna listen to him talk.
Hell yes.
Oscar, guess what? I'm under investigation, so shred what you've got. Shred it all. Got that? Now get this. The logs of the experiments are protected by some program shutdown. So I picked up some hacker who's gonna crack it for us. That gives me access to the robos and the other systems on the station. We've got a shield if they try to bust me. Sit tight, baby. It's under control.
Okay, someone's mic is feeding back into the stream, so you need to deal with that. Okay, someone's mic is feeding back into the stream, so you need to deal with that. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you.
So someone's mic was feeding back into the stream or something?
Yeah, it seems to be solved now.
Okay, thank you.
No idea.
Let's play that log again.
Oscar, guess what? I'm under investigation, so shred what you've got. Shred it all. Got that? Now get this. The logs of the experiments are protected by some program called Showdown.
Let's
so
play that log
I
again.
hacker who's gonna crack it for us. That gives me access to the robos and the other systems on the station. We've got a shield if they try to bust me. Sit tight, baby. It's under control.
I do not know what's going on with the stream.
Austin, are you there?
Yeah.
Are you listening to yourself talking?
Yes, it's pretty faint, but yes.
I do not know what's going on.
Yeah, somebody is definitely.
I haven't actually changed anything.
All right, well, I'm gonna investigate what's going on here. I'm gonna just double check the. All right, I'm gonna just double check the stream here. Sorry, guys.
I love how the last thing Diego says in that log is it's under control.
Yes, as if.
Famous last words. In answer to a question from the text chat, Diego there was voiced by our own Austin Grossman.
That is correct. That is correct. That is that was my bid for there really is not an award for voiceover acting in games, is there? And even if there were.
Okay, guys, I need to test audio, so I need you guys to be silent for just a little bit. Check, 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 check. This is my mic. All right, I'm going to turn off the stream audio for just a second. Okay, I'm turning it back on. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but All right, we'll just keep going, and hopefully we won't run into this problem further.
For a second. I need to follow that.
Okay, so yeah, everyone was voiced by pretty much people in the office or friends we knew, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just. Where is am I close to that power station?
I think pretty much some of the female characters in particular we had to go outside of house because, well, video game industry. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Okay, I think that I'm pretty close to a power station, so I'm just gonna go. And hopefully I've lowered the security level to the point where I can use it. So I'm just gonna go use it. Do I have any medi patches? I do. I'm gonna use one.
So when we gave out the team size earlier,
Right. So the engineering team was half a dozen guys, and then there was there was probably half a dozen engineers. Sorry, half a dozen artists, half a dozen designers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had the support of the rest of Looking Glass, which included a pretty sizable tech team, which was just doing rendering technology and things like that. That was shared across.
So the engineers that you referenced before would have been just the gameplay, the game code people, not the.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Although the renderer I think was written by Doug, the proper renderer. So, but the low-level graphics rasterization and the and all of just our talking to files and loading config files and all of that stuff was done by the tech team, which we were also the Shock team members were also contributing to. So. Hello. Let's turn on our shades. Okay.
and then it was that team for 18 months, as I recall.
Yeah. Where are you?
At least to the floppy version.
Who is shooting me? Alright, let's get back there. Alright, how do we get back there? Looks like we're gonna go... Which way do we go? I think we go the other way. So one of the things to be aware of is that, just about this stream, is that Twitch doesn't really give you good tools for recording the chat. But I think that there's some folks who are streaming the chat to IRC and logging it. Hopefully they'll post any chat logs to the forums. Either systemshock.org or ttlg.com or wherever their boat floats them. Alright, so this guy is over here. I can see this robot over here now. I can see robots but not mutants. Is that the thing that I can see on my map? So it looks like there's a guy right here. Shields on. Oh, I see. There's this corner around here. Alright, you're dead. And you're dead. Yes, so as we have previously noted, System Shock is a string of game designer pranks, level designer pranks. One of them includes this room, which you might not even be able to read as a room from here. That has it's just this little alcove here that has a security pod to kill you.
Cyborg 65B. You
Are those? I would love to have the texture artist or one of the texture artists explain what some of these textures are. Is that marble?
I think it's supposed to be marble. We can click on it and see what it says. Obsidian slab.
We can click on the textures?
Yeah, you can click on the textures. Yeah, that's an obsidian. Yeah.
And our
Oh,
space
yeah.
station is paneled with obsidian.
Yeah. Well, Diego is part of the station because, you know, he's an opulent megalomaniac.
I mean, just getting that stuff out of the gravity well, is that really cost effective?
Well, it turns out that whatever Citadel station is orbiting has a lot of obsidian, so I'm making this
Wait a
up.
minute, we must know what it's orbiting, right?
Yeah, I think it's orbiting like Io or something, or.
Is Io okay? You know what? I mean,
I think it's orbiting a Jovian moon.
The obsidian one.
if
Obsidian Jovian moon.
No.
Not that there's actual obsidian anywhere in the solar system. Oh no, there probably there's some obsidian in Jovian moon because obsidian's a volcanic rock, right?
with this space station in place, our obsidian needs for thousands of years will be
Right.
met.
Right.
As we control the solar system's supply of obsidian, so.
Well, there is that group that wants to actually mine asteroids, right, in the real world. That wants to. There's that startup, but I think they're mostly looking at platinum group elements because, you know, of course, I don't think we're going to be mining obsidian from space anytime soon.
Well, I can't see why not. And we're in cyberspace.
And we're in cyberspace. And when you're in cyberspace, if you come back to this game to play it, don't use the mouse click mod for cyberspace because it's a little squirrely.
And if you missed it in last stream, yes, the grid squares are playing John Conway's Game of Life.
Right.
Did you do that, Tim? Who did that?
I think that was Doug, actually.
Oh.
That
okay.
seems like a Doug thing.
I have to admit, I didn't know it, and it is one of my favorite things now.
And in fact, okay, yeah, and it responds to our input, so I think I can turn this into a spinner just by shooting at it. Oh, and
There must be a screenshot somewhere of a glider occurring in cyberspace.
yes.
John Conway, I would love to see that.
Just Google System Shock Cyberspace Glider, and I'm sure you'll find it. I don't know that you will.
Oh,
I
but
could
wait.
try and make one.
Oh yeah, your bullets activate or toggle
Yeah.
grid
Yeah.
squares.
So should I try and make a glider?
I
Let me
will
actually
buy
kill
you-
these guys.
Make
will
a
buy
glider.
you
Make a
drink.
glider gun, and then we'll have all the gliders we need.
I don't think that I can make a glider gun. For one thing, I don't know that I
Okay.
remember the pattern for a glider gun, but for another thing, it's a lot of shots, and it's not clear that...
Well, plus, yeah, it'll be cycling as you shoot. Like I don't
right,
even know.
right. Right,
We
that's
could
the problem.
probably have better luck waiting for a glider.
right, right. Well, all right, so here.
That is, I mean, it's a pretty active pattern up on the
Right.
top wall. So,
Uh-oh. Is it the same pattern?
no,
Just
I'm just
repeated?
saying it was a.
No, I
Okay.
guess it's different on both walls.
Okay, I'm not gonna obsess about this.
All right, I'm going to try and make a glider, though, because, I mean,
Okay,
if ever there is a time to make a glider, is this stream not it? I mean...
Indeed. Well, wait, some of the static. Okay, we had some static patterns that seem pretty close to gliders.
All right, so I think this is a good... I have to just wait for it to clear. All right, I think this is a good pattern to try and make a glider in. Oh, but...
You need to shoot just the right things to clear the pattern first.
Yeah, that's it.
Image Google is letting me down here.
Yeah, maybe if I disrupt the pattern, I can...
Yeah.
And it may be that, like, there's some... it's in addition to life, there's, like, a spawning algorithm that's making it...
Right, because otherwise it would always usually eventually become static, right?
I think there's some code to either just seed it or detect if it's dying out. I forget
Right.
exactly, but
It is true that like there's no image Google search you can search without eventually finding a lovely lady photographed, and that is even true of System Shock Cyberspace
Yeah.
Collector.
Well, I remember... Okay. Shortly...
challenge accepted.
Shortly after this game came out, when the web was young, I remember people who used to joke about a game you could play called Web That Smut. And the idea is that, you know, someone names a web page, and you, without typing into forms or fields, you have to say how many clicks you can get to porn from there. You know, so you start at like the CIA or Disney.com or something, you know, and you bid, you know, I can web that smut in 6 clicks, you know, or whatever. You know, you got to find their forums and then get out there, and you know, I'm using my drill on these.
I think the scores for Web That Smut will be a lot lower now than they were back in the
Yeah.
mid-90s.
Yes. Yes. I'm actually playing the Cyberspace right now. Oh. So I guess I've woken up the ice, and now the thing is just going to try and hammer me. I wonder if I use recall, it'll put it back to sleep. Oh, recall just puts you back at the front of the level. Okay. Is it glider time? Maybe it's glider time. Okay.
I'm emailing Doug right now just to tell him we're trying to make the glider.
That's fair. All right, I'm gonna try to do it right here. All right, ready? Oh, I got interfered with. All right, I need to get a little bit more distance. All right, let's see. Of course, will we know if I've made a glider, or will it just fly off screen?
See, that's why you need to make a glider gun.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Said.
Here we go. Oh, come on!
You can lead a hacker to cyberspace, but you can't make him construct a glider gun.
This is where I hope this live stream was going. Okay.
All right, I'm just gonna do that.
I don't.
There will be other opportunities to make gliders.
We will totally see a glider spawn before.
All right, so I managed to unlock this trove of loot via through cyberspace.
All right, I'm just gonna change the game for this Twitch channel from System Shock to Conway's Game of Life. Okay?
There you go. I think we're done with our glider attempt for the time being, if that's all right.
That's probably actually fine.
I'm heartbroken.
Well, all right. And we have these crazy yin-yang doors, which are kind of funny.
I've just been watching the viewer count go down, is all you know.
And then slowly creep back up for reasons not understood.
Oh, and now I can get in here. I got a magnum that I can pick up. I will do the gun dance.
Wait, the gun dance?
The gun dance is you encounter a new weapon, so you unload your existing weapon, and then throw it away, and then pick up the new weapon just in case that new weapon has bullets.
Okay.
The gun dance!
It's not like the rain dance where you're trying to make it gun.
No, it's not like the rain dance. Okay, let's save after all of that stupidity. Oops. Alright, I think we're ready to go on to level 6.
This is all making me want to organize a Deus Ex original dev live stream. I think that would be pretty great.
Yeah, no, I mean, and they were saying someone should do Thief and someone should do...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that many of the people here are particularly qualified to do Shock 2, but, you know, if we could get Zimu and Dorian, maybe, that would be a good choice.
I don't know. Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah.
I was a big Shock 2 fan,
we
I have to
need
say.
to wait till the 20th anniversary of whatever game we're
Yeah, I don't think that people would like that. I mean, I just look on the chat. I think that they're going to say, you know what, I think that you should do that sooner. Right,
It must be around the 15-year anniversary of Deus Ex.
Yeah. Well, Deus Ex came out in 2000, I think, because remember in Mike Krasnowski's videos, we're all talking about it, and I think it hasn't shipped yet.
Yes. That is true.
Come on, fall
That
for
wasn't
the bait.
exactly it.
Come on, yay! That wasn't very effective, actually. Let's see if I can do some more grenade love. I'm gonna save right over that. And crouching is the key to proper grenade use, I think.
Yeah, in point of fact, there like it would have been the 15th anniversary of Thief last fall, and I was peripherally on a live stream around that time with Greg LaPiccolo was there, and I forget who else was involved, but I snuck into his office and tried to hit him with a sock full of quarters. He was not expecting me to actually join the live stream.
We must have just missed the 15th anniversary of Shock 2.
Well, Shock 2 was 1999, right?
Right,
So-
and that was in the summer of 1999.
yeah.
I think was when it was released.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that sounds right.
What am I gonna kill you guys with?
Yeah, it would have been last month. Was the 15th anniversary of that.
was August. Oh, we missed it. Well, I'll have to wait 5 years then.
Oh yeah, one of our users remembers the stream. It was Greg and Randy, of course.
So was this just a podcast, or?
No, it was a live stream. It was.
Oh.
Cyborg conversion canceled.
I forget who hosted it, but he
Station
played through, and
restoration
Greg and
online.
Randy mostly did commentary, except after I snuck into Greg's office, I took his chair for a little while there.
And did they play through the whole thing?
I don't remember exactly how much they did, but
I think they just went to some specific levels. That
Yeah.
had-
Oh, right. It was more of a.
yeah, it was nowhere near an extensive playthrough.
I don't want this weapon. Turn your shield on, goddamn.
Yeah, I don't know if that Thief stream is archived anywhere.
Well, if it's Twitch, Twitch does have archives, so, and it has a good path to YouTube, so it's a good place to look.
It's interesting. I remember so little of the story elements here, but every so often we hit an area that I just randomly, despite how limited the engine is. Like
Right.
that corridor we came down. I like, oh yeah, that corridor. I remember that.
This is a flechette gun dance. Oh look, a log.
Diego just left. He sold us out. I can already hear the cyborgs on their way. The dining hall's a dead end. I only hope Bianca made it out of the trap. If anyone can make it up there and use the chip, it's her. I only hope we're still holding when these doors go down. That cyberjack is Shodan's Achilles heel.
Anyone know who the voice was for that? Was that Eric Ray, maybe?
I was thinking Eric Ray. Yeah, obviously.
I don't think he was around when we did the voice recording.
Oh, maybe. He might.
Because
have
I never met him, so.
Huh.
Oh. Huh.
I did think Eric Ray though. One, of course, knows his voice because of Lambert Expressway.
Yeah, but no, he left partway through the project.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but
Right. So I've been here. And this is like the camera behind a shield that taunts you. It's like you want to destroy it, but you may not because it is behind a shield. So basically, just to remind people where we are in the story, I've just investigated the flight deck, discovered that the folks I was going to rendezvous with did not make it, and they...
surprise.
But you almost made it. Or they almost made it. You almost made it to them.
I almost made it to them. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. That's an exec bot, I think. Oh. Yeah, so we know that we're supposed to get to the bridge. We know that we're supposed to get to the bridge. I think we know that some strangeness is going on in the groves. And I think we're going to discover, and maybe it's been alluded to in logs, I'm not sure. But we're going to discover that the biotech experiment shenanigans that are going on in the bridge are in the groves are gonna prevent us from getting to level 7 because there's a lockdown on the elevator that gets us to level 7. So this is a side quest that we have to engage in order to. Oh, my last iCAD. This is a side quest we have to engage in order to get to level 7. Is to jettison Beta Grove. I think I've already taken care of. Oh, hello, Mr. Servbot. I'm kind of low on health, so I really shouldn't be monkeying around here. I guess I could use... Oh, I have battery packs, so I'm going to just use a battery pack so that I don't have to commit to a whole iCAD. Let's see, this guy doesn't see me, so... What's good against him? Let's try the assault rifle. Works.
Yeah, per the chat, like people in chat having a good idea, which is like Razor Hydra or Leap Motion for the independent targeting cursor might be a little awesome.
Sure.
Wait, what is it?
Just having a motion sensitive controller for the System Shock cursor. I mean, this is always this is bringing up one of the master questions I have, which is like System Shock 3. What would that be like?
Right.
Like, what would you want to do?
Well, I mean, I think that in the modern day, I think that we've proven that you can tab between mouse look and cursor, and that would be okay. I think that it would be... I think it would be more like Shock 2 than Bioshock Infinite was, certainly, and... I don't know. I don't know, I mean... So the System Shock 2 added the stats back in, right? Like, you could actually level up your character, right? And we didn't really talk about... I don't know if we really talked about that in the stream, but there was a Q&A sort of like, hey, what happened to the stats going between Underworld and System Shock? And I kind of felt like... I think in this, for most of the team, I kind of felt like we had been through the whole stat thing with Underworld, and we were kind of over it. But also, I think that there was a lot of pressure on Underworld, I felt like, to really try and vindicate the stats, to like really make it so that we were just having trouble figuring out what getting +1 in this skill was actually going to mean to you, the player, right? And how to express that in the 3D world.
Which is really a backward process when you think about it, right? Like, first we're going to figure out what our skills are, and then we're going to figure out what they're good for in our game.
Right. And so we really wanted to avoid that problem. And so we really wanted to think about how to make what you could do be manifest in the 3D world as much as possible, right?
Yeah. I mean, just starting with the relevant verbs is, a lot better approach.
I really should be having my shield on for this, but this is one of those things where if you're just really good at the resource management, then you get a benefit in terms of your resource usage.
Well, we could talk about the basic thing of player skill versus character skill, right?
Right.
And I have to say I really like the System Shock 1 approach. I didn't feel like the stats were the thing that made Shock 2, which I thought was a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong.
Right. All right. So you know what I'm gonna do? I have this railgun here, and I think I'm just gonna invest out of energy weapons. I'm going to leave my blaster here. I'm going to take the railgun for safekeeping. And then I'm going to maybe even leave a map note here. Just in case I want a blaster in the future and I'm regretting this decision. So if I ever need that blaster, that's where it is. Because really, I mean, at this point, if you look at, you can look at it. I have 49 standard pistol clips and 29 Teflon pistol clips. So really, I can use pistol for my camera destroying and other needs, right?
This is true.
So like the scarcity issue isn't. You know, we've kind of leveled up the scarcity issue. So it's like I have a gun that pretty much I have infinite ammo on, but it's just kind of useless in fights now. But it's not useless in camera destruction and other things. Okay, so we've, I think, cleared out this area. And I'm feeling really low. I really wish I could get to like a healing bed. I have one... Oh no, I've picked up a couple first aid kits, so I'm just gonna go and...
Yeah, probably worth it, because you're in deep guano right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my iCAD also. I'm gonna save. I think iCAD stands for Illudium Cadmium.
Yes, from the Illudium Pew 36 Explosive Space Modulator.
From Marvin the Martian, right?
Yeah.
That looks like Tim. What do you think?
Kids these days probably don't get the Looney Tunes reference.
Oh, they might.
Saturday morning cartoons, anyone?
Whose head is this? Is this Tim's?
That kind of looks like... Yeah, that...
Yeah, that's your head. Die, Tim, die.
Yeah.
Oh, click to load. Hooray. Oh, and I see the doors close, and then I hear this exploding robot sound effect.
Question in chat about the Chernobyl Stalker games, whether those were sort of shock style. I have never played them. I always wanted to.
I haven't. Certainly,
Can't help you.
They are on the short list of things like that, right? I'm like hitting terrain with this. Something's going on. It's possible that there's a repulsor lift underneath the...
Oh, and it's deflecting your shots?
Deflecting my shots. That's always hilarious when it happens. In a I'm dead way. Hello! Shield on, please. Oh, hello, Mr. Execbot.
Something's eating your lunch there.
My Skype just booped. Is someone...
That's just somebody in chat.
Oh, okay. I have some ability to monitor other things, but I'm playing the game in full screen mode and kind of paying attention to that, so...
Gotcha.
If I'm not answering chat questions... Oh, the door is broken beyond repair. We did a lot of that. Like, we had... You know, we wanted the station to be a station, so we wanted to put a door where there was a door, even if it was inconvenient to the level design, and sometimes...
The ancient problem.
Sometimes you end up with... So there's actually a really good article about doors in game design. Did you guys see that sort of like it was just sort of an article about what game designers do, and it talks about doors and sort of like, is your game gonna have doors? How are they gonna open?
Oh, yeah.
Are they
Yeah, I was just having this discussion the other day. In fact,
all doors gonna open? Look, energy, joy.
Right. There are lots of games where with hundreds of doors that are simply painted onto walls.
yeah.
And you need to have the visual cues that tell you which 2% of all doors are actual doors.
Right.
Can you lock and unlock your doors? Can you break down your doors? Can you operate your doors remotely? Can you pick locks if you have locks? Like this is... Oh, yeah. It's a big list. You'd be surprised. Well, you wouldn't if you'd read this article or done game design on doors, but...
And they actually even go into, like, even some of the other roles on the team, like, I'm too far away from that.
Master jettison enabled, not activated.
Where, this is Beta Grove. I guess I can just do a quick run in and out. I don't know we want to do a big tour of Beta Grove. Let's save. They even go into the different roles of, like, the gameplay programmer's like, I've made the doors controllable by script, and the engine programmer's like, I've made it so that we can have 1,024 doors, like all that stuff. Oh, it's locked. So probably I have to do a little bit more stuff here before I can get to Beta Grove. Beta Grove is a pretty hostile environment, so I don't know how much time... Oh, hello! I'm going to spend there.
Well, games sure were long back in these days.
Yeah. None of this, like, 4-hour playthrough.
No, that was a selling point. If you didn't have at least 40 hours, you were considered...
You were considered, yeah.
Cheap and unworthy.
Yeah, I mean, this was the age of... Uh-oh. I think I've gotten myself into that weird state where, like, I have a shift key stuck down. I think that's Terry's head. What do you think? Is that Terry or Sarah?
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
It hasn't caught up to you yet.
Yeah.
We'll tell you in a bit.
So in the future, we're going to see a head. Okay. Oh. Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Probably Sarah, just because she was more of a core team member.
Is every head unique, or what?
No, they repeat. But pretty much every team member has a head, I think.
Crazy.
It was a requirement for the job, I seem to recall, when I...
Yes, you must cut your head off in order to play their...
Oh, I meant you had to have a head in the first place.
Oh, yes, well... I think there may be evidence to the contrary in some of our cases, but... We're doing pretty good on health and energy. And so here's where we see, the residential area. Oh, mutant, gorilla tiger. Here's where we see, kind of some of the residential areas. We see the space bed, the levitating space bed, I guess from Star Trek, and the, desk and stuff. And
those are exactly like the Star Trek beds, in fact.
Yeah.
As I remember them.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much we ripped off everything. And you will notice that there are no bathrooms in Citadel Station. I always assumed that, like, these panels open somewhere and you get a little commode, but we didn't actually bother showing you the urinals and stuff.
Right.
I think that was more of a Duke Nukem 3D thing.
In the future, robots just came and removed all that stuff, so...
Yes. Yes, welcome to Citadel Station.
Wherever you wanted.
Here's your catheter.
It's a true porta-john.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like the Stadium Pal,
Like, oh, maintenance robot, over here.
Yeah. I need to perform some maintenance.
Click to load. Aww, and I have one battery pack. Alright, someone remind me to turn on my shield when it gets hairy.
Your shield's already on? Oh,
Well,
that was you. Yeah, that was the stream. That's all.
Yeah, sorry. I'm hearing gorilla tiger noises. We should have just gone full Liger. So one of the things I think that BioShock did really well, the first one, possibly even better than this game, is that is sort of the sense that like most of the enemies were going to be all pain and no gain. It's like you never wanted to fight because it was going to cost you resources, and you knew you weren't going to get any loot out of it.
Yeah, it was not like, oh goody, walking loot.
Right, and I think that the it was really interesting the way that they did the Big Daddies, where it was sort of like imagine a world where like I almost imagine a fantasy game where you only get experience points from dragons, you know, and there's level 1 dragons and level 5 dragons and level 7 dragons, but all those goblins and orcs and stuff that you fight are no good. And it's like it's up to you to decide when you're ready to take on a dragon. Oh, energy. Yum. Now I feel dumb using that battery pack. Let's save. And, for all we see, like, these beds and desks and stuff, I don't think that we quite have enough beds to, like, billet down all of the actors that, all of the characters that we meet. And,
particularly if you added up the, like, this number of corpses that you come
across.
They sleep in 3 shifts, 8 hours apiece.
And there you go. Well, there probably is some of that, right?
But there may be... I bet the corpses outnumber the beds by a greater than 3-to-1 margin.
Well, and also we respawn mutants, so it's like...
Well, let's consider that a solved problem at this stage. If anything, there are just too many beds now.
Yeah.
It feels spooky.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Are you admiring the scream?
I'm admiring the texture of this scream, yes.
Yeah. So in, some of you may not be aware that there was a fan project to up-res System Shock 2. I think that's done, right? Is that done? But they were going through System Shock 2 and just editing all of the textures to make them higher resolution so that System Shock 2 could be a higher res experience. And they also were building new models, right? They up-resed up the polygon count of the models, he says. Virus mutant projectile is no fun. Or yeah, it's fun when you dodge it. It's not fun when you don't dodge it. One of the things that they had to do is they went on the web and like posted, hey, here's this painting. Can someone identify this painting so that we can this downsampled painting so that we can downsample it to a slightly higher resolution for the, and then there was the whole thing about the cyber brothel. I don't know if you guys remember that. But there's a cyber brothel in, or there's a brothel, right, in System Shock 2, because, you gotta keep your folks entertained, whatever, and,
that's the one thing they don't have robots for.
Yeah, that's the one thing they don't have robots for. And so the brothel has a menu, which is like these 4 portraits, and so they had to go out on the internet. There was like this, this internet thread on, this forum thread on, what are these pictures, and it was like someone had taken, like one of them is like one frame from the movie Aliens that was, capped and downsampled, and someone figured that out.
Busted.
And one of them was like a glamour shot of Elizabeth's shoe, and one of them was, and like, and it's all probably fair use because it's also downsampled and stuff and retouched, but they did, I think, manage to track down every single one of those. So remember that taunting camera that was pointing at, that was behind a shield? This is the button that... This is the view this screen is the view that looks through that camera. And this is the button that turns off that shield. So you can, that button serves no purpose other than to, hi Autobomb, to let you destroy it, to let you destroy the camera later and lower the security level. And the Autobomb is stuck behind the door. I'm going to let it in and explode it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so for that menu, there's 3 rows of 3 and 1 row of 2. We couldn't think of another menu item so that it could be 3 rows of 3.
Which menu item?
They're like, there's the menu with like 2 rows of 3 options.
Well, you know what? I don't know that, this is, you know, it might be different in the CD. Oh, I'm shooting this thing with standard ammo. It might be different in the CD version of the game versus the.
Just having OCD about it, it's fine.
Yeah. No, but it also could be that the mods actually change what options there are because.
Or you could have put them in a circle with the empty middle. Okay, never mind. It's fine. I'm good.
Are you over it?
Someone didn't take his meds today.
Maybe I just took too many of them.
Equally possible.
Yeah, so I mean, there are mods that change what screen resolutions you can run in. There are mods that actually change the textures a little bit. I think this game has been well loved, and you know, and we really appreciate all of the work people have done to keep sort of the flame alive. So this is a keypad. Let's see if we have the keypad here. Let's see in our data, hospital armory code, laser override code. Damn, you know what? I think I found the maintenance code in another playthrough and not this one.
Oh.
So if anyone wants to find the maybe it's in a data, maybe it's in a log here. If anyone wants to Google this, I'm perfectly happy to Google it because this is a guided tour, but it's not slavish. Okay, let's listen to some.
Shodan has proven itself a brilliant biochemist. Security notice. Shodan's printing our security codes on different screens. Today it was the Triop logo screen near the elevator. Thing had full code for the exec maintenance conduit. I say pull that damn A offline and fix it before we're in a fix.
Okay, so that tells me where it is. And so, oh, and in fact, I think that camera is pointing at it. I think that's the trick, is this camera is sometimes pointing at this, we'll just watch this 043? Is that 043?
I don't know yet.
Looks like, oh, sorry. Looks like 043 to me. I'm gonna try that.
Ah, yes.
No. No. Is that not it?
Certainly that screen is periodically switching to a number that, yeah.
I can't tell the first digit, and I don't think I can. It looks like an O, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see. What else could it be? Could it be like 9?
Someone's saying that code is 711.
This code is 711. Yeah, I think that
043
code's up there.
that's-
I think that code's up there too somewhere. But okay. So this is the maintenance conduit.
You
And
got a lot of mileage out of that camera and the screen feature, though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah. I think that was pretty novel at the time.
Yeah, someone asked on chat if that was hard technologically, and it's not really hard technologically, but yeah, it's just uses up a lot of CPU power, so
Right.
it's
You
not.
do it sparingly.
And Looking Glass just went more aggressively in throwing every feature in, so
Right.
Yeah. Well, and like with those screens, like I remember that was part of the like one of the level design considerations is you wanted to place the screens in otherwise like undemanding areas as far as rendering went.
Right, right. So the other thing that about that is that, ironically, I think that is a little bit harder today than it was in System Shock's time, because this is a 100% software renderer, right? So if you wanna touch, you know, if you wanna like render to a back buffer and then put that somewhere, it's like there's no there's no tax for doing that, right? You just
Like,
call the
there's
renderer.
there's
and you
nothing arcane about it. Yeah.
stick it in a texture. Whereas these days, if you want to like render to an off-screen texture and then put that like you're doing shader shenanigans, or you're doing some stencil buffer hack to just do it as part of your main renderer, render. So in a funny way, I think that was easier in the software rendering days than in the. Here's a log from Shodan.
Cyborg 82N. In response to recent regrettable incidents, I have altered the sequence necessary to jettison groves. One must now
I think tech sharing or collaboration between Looking Glass and Origin. I can't think of any examples. Can you
Maybe
guys?
the bug database, but that's it. That would be it. We had our own code base, definitely.
Hit the jettison enable switch inside groves. 2.
So if I'm right, if I shoot this CPU, I took notes earlier, and if I shoot this CPU, hopefully that will stop on 5, that screen. Yes. So during my other playthrough, I went and wrote down the numbers so that we don't have to tediously do it in this playthrough.
Aren't they randomized somehow?
I think they are randomized when you start the game or when you enter the level, but I think I had entered the level.
Okay.
In case that one I knew was 5.
That
so.
yeah.
So I think that it's likely that if level 6 is right, then levels 1 through 5 are going to be right.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we are. Let's save our game.
So what about non-technical collaboration with Looking Glass and Origin? Obviously Warren is the only thing I can think of there.
Well, actually, in the late stages of this game, during like the final period, I remember Richard Garriott showing up like physically to the Looking Glass offices to sort of like, ooh, wrong gun, to sort of help close out, just go over the bug list, figure out what bugs need to be actually fixed, what bugs needed to be killed, those kinds of things.
Of course, Origin did publishing and marketing and all that stuff.
Right, yeah, of course. And I think Garriott was a nominal exec producer on this game, but I don't know how much he actually contributed in terms of... one thing about the collaboration there, this game was nearly canceled by Origin in its early stages because... there was a little bit of a disconnect between sort of the style of development between Origin and Looking Glass. So at Origin, if you worked on Ultima 7, like the first thing that got done in Ultima 7 was like the intro cutscene, right? And that was sort of served as a stylistic touchstone for the entire project, right? And so. And then you build out a lot of tech, but basically they kind of adhered to a beautiful first model, where you get the first thing polished and gorgeous and final, just have a proof of concept for the game at all, and then you sort of flesh it out. And we sort of were definitely from a sort of tech and gameplay first perspective, and so when we sort of sent them our milestone demo that had really ugly textures on the walls and had really placeholder stuff, they looked at because it was a tech demo, it wasn't a gameplay demo, and we heard back that Warren had to do a lot of spin control on this early milestone build because it was just not what Origin was expecting, and they saw this ugly game, and they were like, with repeating textures and whatever else, and they were like, we gotta kill this. And so it is only through the grace of Warren Spector that was a real champion for this product that this game exists at all.
Yeah, it goes without saying that Warren is awesome and
Yes.
is an awesome producer.
And if you ever get a chance to if you ever get a chance to work with him, I would, although not so much that I would move to Texas.
Well, currently he's running UT Austin's graduate game game program,
Right.
which everybody should apply to because it's awesome. And I think at least this year you get a full scholarship and stipend.
Yeah, it's a big stipend. Although, I think they have their first class, right? They don't. They've started already.
Yeah, no, they're starting already. People should apply for next year.
Yeah. Yeah, if you are interested in game development as a career, and this is really, it's really intended to be kind of almost a postdoc program. I mean, not a postdoc, but it's almost a graduate program, right? Where it's like
it's a graduate program. I mean, he and I talked, and Doug talked a lot about it. The idea, I think, was taking people who already have some competence in game development in a particular area and turning them into project leaders, giving them a kind of overall vision of development and a way of having a creative vision and for a full product. It's basically making little war inspectors.
Right. Yeah, so if you like War Inspector and want to be more like War Inspector.
Warren is the robot that is learning how to replicate itself this time.
Here's a fact about War Inspector I bet most people don't know. He is a fantastically competent ping pong player.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Now you do.
There you go. Yeah, my ping pong career didn't really start until post Looking Glass. I know there was a lot of ping pong played at Looking Glass at various times.
I'm still more or less all potential as far as that's concerned.
Alright, so this is probably an important log.
Listen, I know I shouldn't have done it, but I was just taking orders. If those execs wanted to write Gamma Grove off into the Great Black, well then good riddance to them. With all the mutant killers, I couldn't blame the suits for trying to escape. I hit the enable button in the Grove, hustled over to the exec level to hit the master enable switch, and then back to flip the lever outside the Grove. Of course, Shodan had disabled the life support systems in the Grove. I'm sure they're all dead by now.
Alright, so that was a little plot point about, I guess, some execs try to escape in Gamma Grove by jettisoning it and explaining the Grove jettisoning procedure and how those guys met their fate. And then also, earlier we heard an email from Shodan, which was Shodan speaking to her minions about how she's changed the jettison procedure. So this is a place where we're using Shodan for exposition to kind of tell you... I don't know why it wants me to pick up that head. To kind of tell you what you need to do to actually get this plot done. Alright, so this is going to be exciting for me. This is the big first confrontation with Edward Diego as a cyborg. Sorry, spoilers. But we're gonna...
I like the texture. The texture that you were looking at 15 seconds ago is really classic Rob Waters, like that Geiger-esque.
The Geiger-esque thing, yeah.
Thing,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He was a major influence on him.
All right,
Fantastic.
Oh, I only have 5
Fantastic
penetrator
artist.
rounds. That's going to be sad for me. All right. So let's see. We're going to open this and run. See what comes out.
What's the worst that can happen?
I'm hearing fight music. Oh, and there you are, Mr. Diego. Alright, here it comes. Alright, so last time I did this, I was actually able to sort of like get in a funny position where he couldn't really approach me and just hammer him. Let's see if I can reproduce that. I'm gonna switch to assault rifle. Where are you? Oh, I may have lost him. Are my shields up? This is probably a good time to put the shields up. Oh! And this is kind of a play. He's got the double laser rapier arms. I don't know if those are attached to his arms or if those are just in his hands. You know, it's kind of a low res kind of a situation. So this is a thing where I can kind of juke him a little bit.
He's kind of like General Grievous.
Yeah.
Huh. He totally ripped us off.
Alright, and he teleported out, which I kind of think that that means we're good. A Of course, I think there's another trap later. So I'm gonna get my mag pulse ready. Alright, and here's the master jettison control. And do I have any first aid kits? Let's just go ahead and do that and save. I have saved the game 80 times so far.
Safety interlocks still engaged.
Alright, we have to do the safety interlocks.
Jettison enable master control. Good thing they labeled that one.
Alright. Right, so I think I have to... Oh, so we really need to listen to these two logs. Let me actually get them playing, because I think this is... it may be a little heavy-handed, but I think this is an awesome juxtaposition of two states of Edward Diego.
A Tri-Op security team just tried to land in Base 6.
Back to Skype in
We were
one
really
ear and
impressed
Twitch in the
until
other.
they blew out their attitude jets. Hey Shodan, take a letter. Dear Tri-Op, please send some more people to investigate me. I run security, I run the robots, I'm jamming communications. That's right, Rebecca. Investigate me. Investigate my butt. Note to myself, keep that hacker on ice for a while in case I need him. Otherwise, just take him out. Shodan, I have seen the wisdom and beneficence in your actions. You do not mean to cause us harm, no, but rather to bring us to greater glory by serving a being as perfect as yourself. Please allow me to demonstrate my loyalty by giving you the human scum who undermine your reign. They are hiding in the Northeast Banquet Hall. All I ask in return is a measure of protection and the privilege of spreading your message further.
Really, the moral slide of Edward Diego. He's a tragic hero. So, I feeling.
Yeah, because before that slide, he just had those giant screens with his face.
right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think, it's sort of like, you sort of... one of the interesting things about that, I kind of, I did it in the right order, but those logs are just right next to each other, right? You can listen to them in any order, and so it's like... and which you're going to do is kind of random. It's just sort of, and so you kind of get, it's kind of like this interesting, like, this same character from two different points of time thing that's going on there. That it was kind of pretty unique at the time we, all right, this is probably not the weapon for this.
This is reminding me of another shock descendant in a way, which is Spider, the Secret of Bryce Manor.
Oh, sure.
From Tiger Style.
It's Randy's, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so...
Which... I mean, thematically, obviously very different, but in terms of, like, the degree to which they tell their story just through the set dressing and all the other, what the circumstances of the gameplay, really.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was a terrific game. Sequel, I think, is in the works.
Yeah. He's been starting to show some development shots of it on the Twitters and stuff.
Let's get our cyberspace on here, just in case we need to. And this is we're getting shot the moment we walk in, I think, because of the awesome level design of Cyberspace.
You gonna take that sitting down, Dorian?
I am sitting. I am sitting down. So
oh,
yeah.
Okay. The answer is yes. All right. We've established that.
I just chose not to hear any sarcasm. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No offense intended. None comprehended. Alright, so I've
I'm gonna
drilled
take
my
a
way
short
through...
break. I'll be right back.
Sure. I've drilled my way through the ice. And I'm picking up Lots of total
Did we just
layers.
call it ice? We did, didn't we?
I don't know if we did, but we called it. I don't think we did, but we called it something. Yes, we called this something. Very good, Mark. So I'm running. Just so you guys know, I'm running System Shock Portable, which is a really helpful thing that you can find on systemshock.org. That if you want to play this game, you can run it. It does not come with a license to System Shock, so if you are concerned about that sort of thing, you should try and still acquire your own copy of it. Oh, I'm using the wrong weapon on that guy. Should still acquire your own copy of it, but it's not like EA or anyone is doing you any favors to get it on Good Old Games at the moment, and I hope they do get it on Good Old Games. Also, we mentioned earlier that who knows if this Citadel thing will come off the ground, but Citadel is a fan project. That's a remake of System Shock. I think if you just Google for System Shock Citadel fan remake, you'll find out about it, and it will be probably, even assuming it gets done and a good job is done with it, an even better way to play System Shock in the future, because it'll be modern and hopefully have just mouse-click built in and be tuned for that and stuff like that. I don't know what the plans are for Citadel. I just found out about it between the last stream and this stream. And I mentioned the whole DOSBox thing because the final battle of this game is in cyberspace, and I'm just going to give away a little bit of it. That the final battle, for whatever reason, is frame rate dependent. It punishes powerful machines. It's easier if you have no frame rate. So one of the things that's useful to do is you can, like, right outside that battle, you can throttle your DOSBox so that your frame rate is low. And that will make it easier for you to win the battle.
Why is there a time counter in cyberspace counting down?
All right, so that's the amount of time. That's the amount of time you get to hack before the jig is up and you're kicked out. And I'm playing on a low cyberspace difficulty, so that time is not really of any consequence.
I see.
But if you were playing on normal or high cyberspace difficulty, that time would be something for you to contend with. But yeah, like, I've never run out of time in this playthrough of... Try and drill through this. Yeah, I think that this really needs... There's no strafe in cyberspace, which is really too bad, I don't think. Yeah, there's just roll. And it's not clear that I'm actually doing any damage to that. It's possible that I'm hitting the mine. Cyberspace! Because, like, strafing would really make the gameplay a lot more interesting, but we don't got it.
Was this before or after Descent?
This was before Descent. Descent is actually a bunch of ex-car and driver guys, right?
Well, it was
Matt
Matt
Toshlag,
Toshlag was the main guy.
And Mike Koulis.
And Mike Koulis, yeah, were the main two guys for Descent. And they were ex-Looking Glass guys. Not, maybe they may have helped out on Shock a little, but their main thing was Car and Driver, which was a learner research game. Looking Glass was the merger of learner research and Blue Sky. And the rest is kind of history. So yeah, there was this game called Car and Driver that was based on the magazine. That was a car driving game that was done by Learner Research.
Also, Matt Toshlag could kill a man with his dreadlocks.
Yeah, still can, to my knowledge.
Yep.
Gotta watch out.
For Matt's dreadlocks?
Yes.
His dreadlocks are assisted by the fact that he's the only person I know with a head even bigger than mine. He has an enormous cranium.
Not speaking metaphorically either. Not figuratively, like he's got a big ego. He's actually, like, pretty humble and a nice guy, but no.
Yeah.
Like, cranially speaking, he's giant. I'm gonna go in one more time. Third time's the charm. I suppose I could actually look at what that thing is before I try to. In theory, the softwares are all color-coded, so that you can actually tell what you are gonna get when you...
So on chat is Mike White, who did audio work on Thief and System Shock 2.
Oh, cool. Hi, Mike. Yeah. I feel like... Yeah. Yeah, he did audio and did some... was working on when... at the end there, when we were working on the Thief 3 engine, I think Mike was doing some... was going to do our next generation... Was one of the people was going to do our next generation animation stuff. I recall Mike working on... I just recall Mike working on animation stuff. It was Mike and one other guy. I forget who was there first. Alright, move on. Oh, never mind. Alright, move on from this. Okay, we need to do Delta Grove, so let's go ahead and do Delta Grove. Oh, and I have no health. Isn't this fun? Okay, so... Oh, right, because you can lose health in cyberspace. So let's see. Let's see if we can get ourselves a little bit of health and energy love. From... Oh, this goes to 5. Maybe we want the other one that goes to 3. The other elevator. I'm just going to run straight to the reactor level. Which is probably going to get me killed, but I have conversion.
Not for the first time.
Yeah, alright.
I just want to note in retrospect that cyberspace level we were just in. I can't say this for sure, but I imagine there's no way that Greg or whoever composed that had not just been listening to a massive amount of New Order.
Oh, sure. Alright. And this is why you want to close the grill on the healing bed, because if you get killed and there's a hopper right outside, you don't want to... Alright, so kill your hopper, and close it, so that you don't run into any trouble. Later in the game, there's like security bots that spawn, like he said, too soon. There it is. I feel like I should have the Scorpion by now, but I guess I don't. Let's go. I'm really low on mag pulse. Let's try Flechette. Thankfully, I have all the time in the world to do this, because... Oh, well, not Flechette. Laser... Oh, we have no energy. Can't do laser rapier. Magnums, slugs... Let's try that. Or even railgun. I don't even see if it's doing damage. Or perhaps EMP grenade. There we go. And all this was just a health and energy run, folks. This is not even... Alright, where's the energy from here? Let's see the map. I think it's around here. I think it's around there. So let's try over here. Oops. Oversteering. And I remember correctly. Alright, so we need to turn on our talisman against ambush, which is the sense around, so that
Nothing will sneak up on you.
nothing will, well,
Well,
not
nothing
just
will spawn behind you.
nothing
yes.
will spawn behind me. Alright, I should not be using the railgun right now. Come on, get in there. Open the door, please. Alright. And save. And back up to 3, and then back up to 6. And yes, the elevator begins to move, because this is a text adventure.
I love that it is a text adventure on top of every other thing that it is.
Yeah, yes. Like, really, we use every part of the pig here at System Shock. Okay, and now it's time for the Delta Grove. Is this Delta Grove? Yeah. Oh, and here we have the infrared night sight wear, which gives you night vision, changes your. So there was probably a period of time where like this got harder, right, and then it got easier again to actually do this kind of night sight effect, because you want to do you just want to do a global channel tweak on the. And so there was in the time of fixed function, Sean can correct me, but in the time of fixed function, it actually got annoying to do things like the night sight. And then in the time of programmable pipeline, it got easy again.
Yeah.
Did I save? I'm going to save again. So the point here is to clear out the grove and just get to the. I'm going to go Flechette for this. Because I just have a memory of like Sarah or somebody playing in the days that this came out, and she was going through the goes using her Flechette. So, like, that ingrained in me that Flechette is a good weapon. I don't know what it actually is, but
I could ask her. She's around here somewhere.
yeah, there we go. And I'm always struck by the way that literally struck by the way that the camera hits your butt on the. On the way into anywhere, like, or not the camera, the door, the physics of the door closing. Like, I always walk in and then the door closes, and then you get this little, like, you get goosed and pushed forward by the door.
So the doors have physics, right?
Yeah, the doors have collision, and they're physical, and they so the physics in this game was done entirely using I don't know how the internal constraints work. I'd have to ask Seamus, but I'm guessing. I don't actually know. But I'm guessing it's a generalized coordinates thing for the internal constraints. But all of the collision and stuff is done using penalty methods. So essentially, everything, all the terrain in the world is a spring that just pushes you out of it when you start to interpenetrate it. Yeah, so it has a really high spring constant, and this is like a very numerically unstable way to do this, but it's the way, and it's probably it's also the way that Trespasser did, I believe. And I remember Seamus at GDC sort of saying, "I think the limits of penalty methods have been plumbed after Trespasser." Oh, a friend of mine, Stone Labrandy, who's a game designer, was on Spore and a few other things. He's a coworker now. He reminded me about this level, which is that there's these crickets and frogs sounds that you hear on the level, And you can actually find like there's like the little stereo speakers. There's one behind here where that are actually generating the sounds. Let me see if I can kill this tree. The laser rapier. No, yeah, but like yeah, if you look around, like there's no like there are, like in the fiction there's no actual crickets and frogs. There's just little speakers making the groves a little grovier. Hidden throughout, kind of a Disneyland effect. But the speakers are physical objects, or not. They're actually simulated objects in the game world, and they have positional sound, so you can kind of follow the sound to the speaker. It's kind of a fun aspect.
Spared no expense.
Yes. Alright, so here's a screen where we can see the jettison enable button. Of course, like one of the things that kind of vexed us in the making of this game was the localization, in particular, the German localization. Oh, I missed the job.
Oh, right.
The German localization, because like jettison enable switch would be all one word in German, and we'd have to like fit it on a the line breaking of German in our tiny windows was a little bit perilous. Why aren't you
as soon as you said jettison enable button and German, I could tell what the problem was.
Yeah. There was some really funny words that we saw in the German. Like you see, Mutantenarmee is like mutant army is like a single word in German, of course.
Yeah. Well, whenever a noun modifies another noun,
yeah,
right, which most languages don't even let you do, right? English and German can do that, and German just happens to remove the spaces, right. So it's a problem.
Right. Like destruct enable signal was the really bad one. Like it was like it didn't even fit on one line in our text viewer. I think we had to do special stuff to accommodate it. But yeah, if you're making a game and you're going to go to lots of languages, like just make it in German first, because that's the wordiest one you're going to have to deal with. I guess I could be using my jump jets here to like speed myself through this. Let me try that. Let's try not to fall off. Alright, so this is the prize door that like only opens when you kill all the cameras. And all the security things. So when I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, and another thing that happened on I believe the German version of this game was that I don't know if you guys remember this story, but we got it localized with the speech and everything, and then this is just a mini pistol, so I'm not even gonna bother doing the gun dance with it because I have so much pistol ammo. They did all the audio logs, and basically the folks, the German localization managers who came, or the German publishers maybe, the publishing partner, like came back to us and said, guys, you got to redo all these audio logs. The voice acting is terrible. Like the woman who plays Rebecca Lansing, like is like telling the story like she's telling it to children, like it's a like not a nursery rhyme, but like a fairy tale. Like, and then Shodan led Hansel and Gretel to her house, to her gingerbread house, and cooked and ate them. But like it was not, they thought it was just like an absolutely terrible translation and voice acting for the thing. There was a lot of expense put into like making it better because it was just terrible. Another related item on that was in the for Flight Unlimited, like we got kind of celebrity voice actors to do the instructional voice for the flying lessons, right? And we got in the French version of the game, the World Aerobatics champion was French at the time, and we got him to do the instructional voice of the the instructor teaching you how to fly loops and emulsions and all that stuff. And he listened to his own recordings, and he thought he was a terrible voice actor, and so he basically said, "Yeah, just get someone else to do it and say it's me." Because he just really did not like his own voice acting, and neither did anyone else, I guess. But yeah, so that's another example of stories of. Oh, is this the shooting gallery? I think we already did this last playthrough. Yeah, last session. Another funny thing that happened was on Thief, video games were starting to get big, and so, kind of big, and so, like, the voice actors you get for, by the time it was Thief, the voice actors you got for video games were also the voice actors you get for movies, right? And so, like, as far as the German audience knows, like, in Thief, like, Garrett is voiced by Wesley Snipes, and, I think Victoria is voiced by Pamela Anderson. Not because it's those people, it's because it's the German voices of those people.
Right.
And somewhere around here is Beta Grove. I think we're ready to go to... Oh, I'm hearing some robot noises, like someone wants me dead. Alright, let's change weapons to, I don't know, the Magnum. I like me some Magnum. It's alright, it's a nice utility. It's not great. But, hey, look. It likes ourselves some energy. It's not a great, awesome, powerful weapon, but it's a good, mid-game, kind of kills most things with enough shots weapon. I should get better about carving out the auto map so that I'm sure that I know that the door is still locked.
Master jettison enable not activated.
Alright, so I think I've done this in the wrong order. This all worked fine in my Delta, I think is where we're going. This all worked fine in my walkthrough, so I may need some help with the, how to get that door unlocked. So if someone wants to, like, check a walkthrough or something. When my playthrough, whatever you have to do, I must have done it by now. So where am I going? Oh, I'm gonna go to the Master Jettison, which is back where I defeated Diego, and I'm gonna go to that by running through this teleporter. And let's see what they say about this. I'm gonna save again. I'm just gonna save over. I'll save 84. All right.
Safety interlocks still engaged.
Safety interlocks still engaged. So. All right. So maybe we have to go actually find this log from Showdown. We can do that. Logs. Is there a log from Showdown?
Cyborg 82N. In response to recent regrettable incidents, I have altered the sequence necessary to jettison groves. One must now enable the jettisoning of all 3 of the remaining groves before any single one can be lost. To jettison a single grove, one must do 3 things. 1. Use the jettison enable switch inside all 3 groves. 2. Activate Master Jettison Enable in Gamma Quadrant. 3. Pull Jettison lever in a specific grove to launch that grove.
So she's just telling us all what we knew. We have to enable jettison for all the groves, and then we have to pull the master, and then we have to go to the grove. So it's possible that let's look at our map real quick to see if there's like stuff over here that I didn't quite sweep out. Maybe over here? Alright, I'm gonna look over there. Because I feel like there's some way to... maybe I have to open that door. I just heard a robot. Maybe I should have taken more care with that robot. Over here. Like, I feel like I saw a camera pointing at that. A screen pointing at that grove at some point around here. Is someone checking the walkthrough for me?
No one is doing that.
I'm just going to go all the way up this. I feel like I saw an opportunity to do something over here somewhere, but... Oh, hello.
Okay. Need to get into the grove with the virus to open the door, to the destroyed sector. Look for a switch.
Where am I looking for the switch?
In the destroyed sector, it says. Where by it, I mean our reader, Azrael, 1970s. Yeah, 18... anyway, one of the people who's talking to us. Hello.
Are we in the... Yeah, see, I feel like this is the camera that points at that. Is there a switch somewhere in this room, maybe? Because I feel like it's a cruel joke to put the screen there and not put the switch here.
We would never
there
do
it is.
a
Haha.
cruel joke.
See? Yes, it's hidden behind a crate.
There's
Jokes.
cruel jokes and then cruel other.
Who designed this level? Fess up. I wonder if it's faster to take the teleport or if it's faster to go through the maintenance conduit at this point. I really could use some health, is what I'm noticing. Look, I'm flush with meta patches. I'm just gonna scarf some down. And meta patches are heal over time patches, so... Oh, no. Alright, I'm going to beta grow. I'm not going to... So I'm going to go this way.
All right, here's a question from the chat that I'm just going to read word for word. Older games relied on abstract level design and layouts for world spaces they represented. New games tend to focus more on accurate representations, which in my opinion don't make for better gameplay experiences. In fact, I would argue the opposite. Your thoughts or comments?
Yeah, I was reading that too. And I kind of fall on the other side of it. Like, I like if a space has a real world logic to it, it feels realer to me. I think that as for making it a good gameplay experience, there's just other ways to tweak movement rate, tweak whatever else. But like, I love that solidity of feeling that a space has a real logic to it.
Well, I would say that there's room in the space of possibility for both answers. I think that certainly if you are making a Half-Life, I don't think you're necessarily doing it justice by, you know, making you crawl through every cubicle of some office space, right? You know, if you're doing a really linear, you know, Half-Life's kind of like this Disneyland ride with guns, right? And so I think that if you're making that game, then I think that you probably, you know, want to be something that's a little bit, you want to be evocative of that. Like when you have the player walk through a space like that, you want to, and Magpulse is definitely worth the dance. You want to entertain that, but you know, but I also
the matter of a space feeling authentic. You know,
right,
is not
versus being authentic.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, there's room in the space of possibilities for games that really are just sort of tourism games where you are just trying to where you're really trying to evoke a sense of space or a sense of place. And I think there's room in the space of possibility for games that are kind of more like Disneyland rides. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, all right, so if Half-Life is a Disneyland ride, then Red Dead Redemption is like all of Disneyland, right? It's like a theme park
Logs disabled.
where you sort of play in this this Western themed. Oops. Do I want to keep going? I don't know that I do. I think I just want to turn around and run back to the door. Especially since I'm low on energy. Oh, geez. Do I have any? I have no energy, so I think that means that my suit's going to start to not help me. Oh, and I'm super poisoned. Yeah. Oh, there's a camera there. And I don't care.
Well, anyway, yeah, I mean, I think there's something to be said, like, from the point of view of the game designer, like, for having to incorporate the constraints of a theme, the idea of the kind of real world space that something's supposed to be taking place in, just because, like, I don't necessarily want a blank slate where it's like I'm going to just like carve out a gray box level and someone else is going to make it look like something after the fact, right? Like, constraints are, generally speaking, pretty useful creatively, but I mean, I think the best process is always where there's some kind of conversation there, right? Where, like, I'm going to try to be respectful to, like, whatever artistic and thematic constraints we're trying to pursue, but not necessarily like slavishly adopt a goal that is not really in service of gameplay.
Yes, no, clearly everything in moderation. But I was, yes, standing up for the counter argument there.
I'm sure. I mean, I think we all know this, right? But I'm trying to articulate that approach. I don't know.
Right. I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're making kind of a shoot fast, then
yeah. But I mean, on some level, there's at least like some degree of faithfulness to real world reference points that is necessary for people to even understand the situation and what they can do in it, right?
Right.
And so I think you can go too far in both directions, basically.
Did I loot this? I did. Okay, master jettison control.
Enable failure. Possible cause. Damage to power relay. Consult diagnostic report and repair bay. Level 3 for detailed analysis.
Right, so now I have to go to the relay analyzer. So let's see. Let's go to our data reader.
I keep noticing that Mark, of course, is working harder than everybody else on this chat because he actually has to play the game.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like, it was so much effort to set it. Like, when I originally envisioned this, it's like, oh, we could do this over multiple sessions, and I could like mail my save games to somebody, and then they could drive for a while, and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like it's worth it, given just the annoyance of actually just getting this working at all.
Well, that's why they call you the hardest working man in show business.
They can call me that now.
Ever since James Brown passed away.
Yes.
The mantle has moved on.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't actually want that mantle. For one thing, I bet it's pretty sweaty. Just from all the. I mean, because he shakes his booty pretty hard. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Now, when
frequently he laundered his mantle.
When somebody's working very hard, you don't want to wear their clothes. That's
right.
That,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, so am I?
That's not your first thought.
All right. So I'm supposed to go and get the diagnostic log, right? And here I am getting the diagnostic log. Oops. And I didn't put it in my MFD because I'm a dummy. And I get a logs on level 3 and diagnostic.
Power system failure. Malfunction in subsystem relay 428. For repair instructions, please consult relay analyzer. Be sure to specify relay number for analysis.
Alright. And I think, is the relay analyzer on the west side? I don't remember. We might need to look around for the relay analyzer. That's not where the relay analyzer is. So I need to. Now it's alright. So the switch is broken. This is the your classic side quest dodge thing, right? The switch is broken. Go. You thought you were in the middle of this quest, but Or at the end of the quest, but you're really in the middle, you know, because the switch is broken, and now you gotta go fix the frickin' switch.
It's pitch dark.
Yeah, I could,
We really were constantly moving the goalposts on you in this game.
yeah. Where's the next mutant? Oh. I don't want this weapon anyway.
Is it looking at those invisible mutants? Is it possible that Underworld had translucent ghosts?
No, they did have translucent ghosts. So, like, and the ghosts were like a lighting trick where it just, like, as you saw through him, it got brighter. So you could actually, like, use ghosts as these lenses to see better, right? Yeah, no, Underworld definitely did have translucent ghosts. I think that the force bridges are the first thing that is even kind of close to an alpha transparency or a...
Right.
Or I don't know what you call Photoshop style transparency, but
yeah, it's actually not even. That's the weird thing is it's actually not even just alpha blending. It's actually the
right. It's a color filter kind of thing.
Color filter effect, which is even rarer.
Yeah, no one does that anymore, or rarely, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually it's easy to do in fixed function hardware. It's just not a commonly seen effect, I think,
right.
in the real world. Stained glass.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to punch in relay 428.
Replace broken interface demodulator.
Oh, thank you. I need to replace the broken interface demodulator, so I need to go grab myself some interface demodulators. I don't know what's over here. I'm just going to explore a little bit. Look, a dart gun, and not much else. And the weird thing about this night sight is it really sucks your battery. Like, it really uses a lot of energy. Like, if you look, like, the JPM is 50, which compared to the headlamp's another 10. It's like, why, you know, it's like, it's not clear that it's a lot of buck for the bang, but, or a lot of bang for the buck, but, so, one of the things that happened is that this, I need to go get myself an interface demodulator. And while I'm here, I should probably go use this severed head that I've been carrying around for a long time. I haven't actually, you know, in my other playthrough, I didn't actually find the place to do that. I'm going to stand up, because I was just crawling really fast. And the interface demodulator is somewhere around here. It's up on this repulsor lift. I don't even know if I... Oh, and I'm being shot at. Stupid. Stupid mutants, I hate you. Alright. Are you gonna repulse me? And look, interface demodulators, aplenty. And where's the switch? Oh, here it is. It's funny, it's kind of hard to make out certain kinds of things in the night sight because you, I should look around here for maintenance, fun maintenance stuff to do. Okay, I don't think the relay is actually here, but if I notice it, I will use it. But there's a mag pulse here. Alright. Oh, and I just wasted a shot on him. See, bypass. I can just click on them all to see what these relays are. Relays got a lot more complicated. They need interface demodulators.
Yeah. Feature creep.
Relay 73, yeah. And this is a fun way to convert your mag pulse ammo into other ammo.
So just a random question. So what are the 4 difficulty settings that you are playing with?
I am playing with everything is on normal, so I'm playing all on 2, and then my cyberspace is 1. So I'm not playing on combat 3, to my knowledge, and I'm not playing on yeah, and I'm playing on cyberspace 1 because cyberspace is a huge pain.
Yep.
It's been remarked that you probably don't need your night vision anymore.
There you go. Well, I'm about to leave, so maybe I do.
Yeah.
And I really do just want to carve out all of the oh, and I can also get cameras this way. This is kind of a, I mean, I know that I'm pretty sure that I'm not in the right, oh. But I kind of want to, I kind of want to get to the retinal scan lock, which I kind of missed in my previous playthrough. So if I can actually engage and arrange to do that, I will arrange to do that. And I assume it's somewhere in the maintenance stuff, right? Somewhere in these maintenance corridors that only open once there's maintenance to be done. Oh, hi there. Alright. Magnum. Slugs. Turn my shield on. But between the shield and the night sight, I think the night sight doesn't... it's a little bit helpful. The plasma flux monitor. Very important to have that working. Crapola. Alright, I'm just...
you wouldn't want your plasma flux going unmonitored.
Yeah, because, you know... I had my plasma... I didn't monitor my plasma flux once, and it was all... I had to get a shot from the doctor. It was just... It was... Oh! Inviso-mutants.
Brain activity satisfactory. They couldn't say it was good. They couldn't say...
I know.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the wrong gun for this, probably. Or at least the wrong ammo. And I'm just surrounded by stupid Inviso-mutants. Which I'm cutting back to the... I'm using the wrong gun. Alright. Alright, let's pick the correct gun. Sorry, if you were like expecting like a pro speedrun of this game, then you like, you know, your ticket to Disappointment City is punched because I am not that guy. I thought I was using the flechette. Alright, so I was gonna go in here and just explore some more. Oh, I have no... This is really not the weapon for this either. I got some mag hearts. I'm doing okay. For mag pulse stuff, I should really go get energy. I'm just living dangerously here.
What's the time limit on the mission 3 or whatever? It's just 8 hours?
Yeah, I think it's like 8 hours. Yeah, if you're playing on plot, and that's really, you know, I think that's a regret for us. I think that we really just couldn't come up with good creative ways to vary the plot difficulty. You know, and so we couldn't figure out what an advanced plot difficulty was. And so we just said, you gotta finish the whole game in 8 hours, which really, on your first playthrough, you're just not doing, so...
Yeah.
So it was really kind of a bad deal for anyone who selected it, because you kind of... And you couldn't change it later, because it was just too hard to... Well, that one probably we could have changed later, but some of them were just technically difficult to do later.
Well, the one time I played StarCon 2, I lost because I didn't realize there was actually a global timer going on, and
oh, right.
Urquan were taking over the galaxy or whatever it was.
I think it's the Korra who take over the galaxy.
Or yeah. So so it was in keeping with the inspiring games there. So
there you go. Yes, sure. Yeah, that's our excuse. That's our excuse for bad gameplay, as we were copying other no. Actually, system it worked much better in that game than in System Shock. The whole 2-year time limit or whatever it is. 2-game year.
Well, we didn't speedrun it, but I do remember when we had the post-release party.
Yeah, we had a launch party. Yeah.
Yeah, that which some of us sat there and played through it with that setting.
Yeah, we did it in like 5 hours, I think.
Probably.
So, I mean, it's definitely doable. It's just a question of
Oh yeah, we at that point. I mean, we weren't speed running, but we all knew it.
Yeah, so well. Yeah.
For those of us who were playing it. Yeah.
And I am almost dead, but you know, I got regen. Yeah, and yeah, we tried to do a little bit of commentary, live commentary for that too, which sort of turned out to be more cracking jokes than actually helping the other people watching. But yeah, they were fun jokes. Die, mutant scum. Ah.
Oh,
Dorian! Is Dorian still here?
who's the mutant scum now?
Yeah, really. Oh! And this is why you close the regen chamber after you respawn.
Oh.
Indeed.
Where are you? Oh, click to load.
I think the click to load is actually kind of nice to not have it bound to a key, so that it's more effortful.
Right, right. It's like the shoot off your screen in those coin op rail shooters. It's like a little thing that you actually have to divert your attention. It's a little little whack-a-mole game you have to play in order to have your stuff work. Did I go in here already? No, I did not. Alright, mag pulse. Oh, I didn't go all the way in here anyway.
I just got an email from Greg Travis. I think technically a System Shock dev, right? Or was he on flight for that?
Oh yeah.
He was on flight, but
Yeah. I think he worked on libraries, right?
Yeah, he was a tech group guy, yeah.
Anyway, he's gonna remaster the Lambda Expressway. It's,
Awesome.
Oh wow.
It's in progress. Greg was actually an electronic music major at Oberlin. And he was the reason we know Eric Ray, actually.
Yes.
They were college buddies.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, so basically what you need to know about Looking Glass is that it was this giant long tree of nepotism, starting with Paul Nerath and Doug Church, and passing through Fourth West and Oberlin. And
well, wait. Did Paul know Doug?
You may not have been around for that story, but Paul met Doug through Paul Shawcross.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
no, I was. I just lost my way in the labyrinth.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, and this kind of gets back to, like, there was a question just a bit before in the text stream about, like, like nostalgically speaking, like what do you miss about Looking Glass? I actually think that the way that it kind of accreted through that networking is one thing that really led to there was a generally pretty harmonious culture there. Everyone was really pretty like-minded, and really very, very smart, high-performing people. Not necessarily at project management. We had our weaknesses, but in terms of like sheer talent for a group to work with, like I would compare it to having just recently worked at Harmonix. Like that's another organization that I would put on the same level, and the whole games industry, it's smart professional people, like it has to be, but Looking Glass is kind of on another level there. It was just a joy to work with that much talent around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't just like, I know a guy, we can hire him. It's like, I know a guy who's really smart.
Right.
Right.
I completely agree.
Is this the where the retinal scanner is supposed to be?
Apropos of nothing, I didn't know anybody. I had to actually interview for a job.
Right.
Yeah, you and Dorian were among the
Yes.
people who just answered an ad.
I answered an ad in the Boston Globe.
Yeah.
With a pair of scissors, I cut it out of the piece of paper.
Do you still have it?
I may have it somewhere, but I have a storage unit that may contain it.
There you go. So this door is locked, and I feel like this might be the retinal scanner door, but I can't see the retinal scanner. Anyone see the retinal scanner?
Oh, and here's another good question. Was there any imposter syndrome at Looking Glass because of the high caliber of people? I mean, I can answer for myself that I just always have a tremendous amount of imposter syndrome, so I can't tell. So, like, a huge amount of that crowd came from MIT, where, like, if you haven't gotten over that in the 4 years at MIT, you got a problem.
But I would say that there was like a larger imposter syndrome, which was like we were a bunch of kids making a video game, right? Like it was like the video game industry kind of already existed, and we were kind of. Oh, that's the door. All right, that's not.
It's true. We were all kind of outside of the.
We were all like we would see our game on shelves. You know, Doug would talk about this. We'd see our game on the shelves, and like, do those people know that we're not really pros? Like,
Chad is telling you where the retinal scanner is, by the way.
Oh, where is it?
Where the CPU nodes are.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
I don't remember imposter syndrome there, just because like. We were so obviously doing a lot of stuff for the first time. I certainly was. Like I didn't feel like I was pretending to do anything, because I just straight up didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah, everyone was pretty upfront about not knowing what they were doing.
Yes, I mean...
to have an imposter, you have imposture... Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was my feeling
it's
with
blocked
that.
by soda and level security. So I think that maybe I have to get this. Maybe it's on the other side of this door, and I have to get security down. That's probably the case. I think it's behind. Yeah, you see someone on the chat. Tell me. Yeah. Yeah. Scanner not in that room. It's in the computer node room opposite. This was a computer node right here. Is this the room? I don't know. Maybe someone will tell me. I don't have a lot of first aid
It's on the
kits.
other side of that door, yeah.
Okay, so I need to get my security lower. I mean, I really would like to do the retinal scanner if we can. It's an optional quest, but if we can... this is north. So I think we've done... Alright, let me actually just look where... Let me just die while I'm checking my map. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so I pretty much cleared out the other stuff. So I can look at north and west are the two places where... Let's actually check the security level here. 11%, not too bad. Alright, let's get our flechette love going. Alright. And you know what? I'm just gonna head north. I'm gonna use the... Stop that. Stop shooting me with your mutant ball of mutant slime, whatever that hell is.
I think that's exactly it. Mutant ball of mutant slime.
Look. Now we have to go mag pulse. We don't have to, but it sure will help us. 7% security, yay! Hi there.
So I notice Dorian still isn't explaining the many's violation of conservation of mass. There's a debate going on.
I think there was an out-of-control replicator going on.
Matter energy.
There you
replicator.
go. A wizard did it.
Exactly. A bio-wizard.
Glad we could straighten that out for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's strange where people draw their personal line of suspension of disbelief.
Well, and you know, it's.
I mean, there's internal consistency and and external craziness, but.
Well, I mean, if you tell a good story, then people will play your game, right? Like, and I don't mean literally your your video game, but if people will
Right, but they'll play along with
play
your premise.
along
Yeah.
with the good story, as good as the story is, right? Like that's kind of the limiter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna be super stingy on health, which means that I'm just gonna be running around from the thing a lot.
Keep in mind that we clearly see here on Citadel Station that they already had matter teleportation technology, right? So
Right.
Right.
obviously they could use that to transform energy into pure matter, right?
Right.
So
And there's just plenty of energy.
Damn it.
0-point energy. 0-point energy.
Yeah.
It's your friend.
And the energy to matter conversion rate is quite generous. So.
Yes. Well, not really, but the matter to energy conversion
the other way
rate
around.
is quite generous.